To begin my documentary for the Rayman franchise, I decided to compare the first ever Rayman, which came out in 1995, and the most recent Rayman, which is called Rayman Legends. I did this by doing an interview and showing my participants different clips from both of the Raymans. I decided to do this because it allows me to get different feedbacks and be able to compare both the Raymans with different opinions. From the two videos that I've shown you, what do you think the main difference is between both the games?
I would say the main difference is the graphics and the how the system works with the scoring and stuff like that.
Yeah. So which look do you prefer the most?
I'd say the latest one because it's got it's more detailed and it's more advanced when it comes to gameplay and stuff. Yeah.
And you think the first Rayman isn't as advanced?
I wouldn't say it's not as advanced. It's just for example, the screen size of it, it's not as big as the latest one, and the color and the color depth of it is different from the latest one.
Okay. Do you think the target audience is different between both the games?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it stayed the same because it's still it's not like how the enemies are.
Yeah, the violence.
Yeah.
So what would you say the target audience is and why?
I would say the target audience would be maybe just above 6.
Above 6.
Because it's not violent. There's no blood and stuff in it, so.
The controls are easy. So out of both the screen layouts, which one do you prefer the most?
I prefer this one.
Rayman Legends?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's wider and it's not as busy as this one because it's got this score point here and this here, but this one is just in one side.
Okay, well thank you for doing the interview.
You're welcome.
In the first Rayman franchise, the player is played as Rayman. He can do different movements such as jumping, crawling, and a movement called Grymans. Grymans is Rayman's only ability to defend himself. He does this by stretching out his mouth and doing a silly face, which will fight the most basic enemy, which is called living stones. To get more advanced movement to a character called Belter, who is a fairy and a character within some other levels. One of Rayman's first permanent moves is Basic Whip, where Rayman is able to throw out his fist and hit an enemy. This makes it easier to defeat them because it causes more damage than it usually does. There is also a power-up called Speed Fist and a Golden Fist. Another permanent move is Hanging and Grappling his fist. Hanging allows Rayman to hang onto ledges, where Grappling Fist allows Rayman to grab onto objects such as the flying rings. Instead of having double jump, Rayman has an ability to tie his hair up and fly/glide, almost like a helicopter would do. The most recent Rayman in the Rayman franchise is Rayman Legends, which was released in 2013, just 18 years after the first Rayman in 1995. Unlike in the first Rayman, where the levels were based on a map, the levels in Rayman Legends are based on large paintings in a gallery hallway. The hallway includes having worlds such as Toy Story, Teens Is in Troubles, and Living Dead, etc. Each world have different background stories, which I personally think gives the world a lot more detail within each level. Overall, there is over 120 different levels in the Rayman Legends. However, each level is different. For example, some levels just acquire Rayman to collect teasers or balloons to gain access to different worlds and collect trophies. But there is also challenging levels which basically allows you to compete with other players. Also levels which allow you to unlock different characters to play, unlike in Rayman 1995 where you are stuck playing just original Rayman. Rayman Legends allows you to unlock different amount of characters such as Goldbox, Barbara and many different ones. However, I do think each character have different stamina. For example, Goldbox isn't as good at jumping than Barbara. Rayman also has to play levels which I call music levels. I call these music levels because the levels are based around music. Rayman has to complete the level and has to keep up with the tempo of the music. Also, if Rayman hits/kills a character, it will make a sound effect to go with that music. It acts as an instrument within the music. For example, one of the levels replays the song Eye of the Tiger, which is a very popular song. So overall, at the end of the level, the Eye of the Tiger song will be played. I had 6 responses for my survey. Some of the responses ranked the legendary level design first, simply because it seemed like it had a lot more detail, lots more adventurous and has a higher bit rate. It also had better graphics. I do agree with this feedback because Legendary has a lot more action than the original Rayman, and it also requires a lot more skill and attention than Rayman 1995 did.